I really like this this K1200. I really like this. I'm glad I got this. When I got this bike, I was actually I was really torn. I was gonna get a dirt bike. I wanted something 400 cc's or higher dirt bike, and I was gonna put supermoto wheels on it, and or I was gonna get a 600cc bike, because I missed my Speed 4. Selling that was dumb. Either way, you know, the whole idea is to, you know, become a little more of a hooligan on two wheels, so to speak. But in my search for that, which I wasn't finding anything that I liked, this thing came up, and I love BMWs. They're so nice. First time filling this up with this camo paint. Any gasoline whatsoever touches this thing, and it's sand and spray again. And I guess that's all you got to do. It's just sand and spray it. I should probably take a good look at it here. Make sure those front tires aren't low, but man, I like the way it looks. I really like the way it looks. I like the way it looks when it's scuffed too, and that's kind of important. It actually might look better with gas on it. It's funny. Yeah. I love dirty motorcycles. I'm a dirty girl. Ooh. Ooh, is that too racy for YouTube? I love watching gas. Don't you guys love watching gas? 4 gallons. That would be 4 gallons. Supposed to have almost a 5-gallon tank. I have no idea how big the gas tank is on this. Thank you for shopping at Quick Trip. It's got a satisfying little bang when you put it in gear. I'll give it that. There's almost no engine braking. That's a little disconcerting, but oh well. So I'm looking in the paper for a motorcycle, right? I'm just gonna take it real easy. No breaking the law. It's so easy on this bike. Anyways, I'm looking in the paper, and I'm looking at dirt bikes to make into a supermoto, and then I'm also looking at 600cc bikes, and basically both of them to throw down the road, because there's a helicopter. Yep, that's the police helicopter up there. Basically to throw down the road. And this thing comes up, and I'm looking at it, and I can't believe I sent the guy a message, and I'm like, I'll buy it, fuck it. I looked at it and I was like, man, it's like a big canvas that on there. So this is like the first iteration of this bike. So to be honest with you, okay. Get your pencils and paper out, because I haven't actually done the calculations. I'll tell you everything that I've spent on this bike so far. It's got to be close, hovering right around $3,000. So Craigslist, $2,500. It's got 102,000 miles on the odometer, which is probably wrong because of tires. I have no idea. The thing that impressed me was the service records were all there. So this is a 4-cylinder BMW. The transmission is actually inside the case. I mean, it's one case. The transmission is inside the engine case. Yeah, you'd have to see a diagram to know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it's pretty solid. It's pretty well engineered. They had problems with ABS. So it's like an 8-year-old bike, right? 8-9-year-old bike. They had some problems with the ABS. But man, if this bike goes 9 years and the ABS is still working, it's probably gonna keep working. All the recall stuff was done on it too, so that's always really nice. Oh, you can't beat that. So really, $2,500. Well, it had some road rash on the side. Not only had some road rash on the side, but the front fairing was cracked. It had a real kind of jagged edge down there, and this inside cover piece was all cracked up too. And that's a lot of money in plastic. That's, if you were to buy it all new, that's it's like $1,000 in plastic right there. The side panel had pretty good road rash on it, that's for sure. So the bike was, it's a risk, right? Everything in life is a risk, but these things are really comfortable. And I remember when they came out, they were really nice. They were like the history behind these kind of big Ks is they had that the K1200, the flying brick before this, and that was a fairly successful bike. The problem is that bike was heavy and it was slow. And I don't care what anybody says, there were some really dumb design bits to that. You had to take off the side fairing to add oil. It came with like an 11-inch long. Well, I might be exaggerating. It might have only been 8 or 9, but it came with this long paper funnel, or like 4 or 5 paper funnels, right? And the idea was that you're never fucking getting oil in this goddamn thing without a long funnel. That was just the bottom line. I was kind of laughing my ass off. So I remember when this came out, you fill the oil under the seat. Seems pretty easy, so why not? But the other thing is, I think the RS version of this year, and I could be totally wrong, but I think it was like one of the fastest bikes around that you could buy. So I show up. It's got road rash, it's got cracked plastic. Most of that I could actually see from the photos. I mean, the guy wasn't trying to hide it. That was one thing that I liked about the ad, was that there were some good photos of the damage, and I had already gone on eBay and looked at what the plastic and stuff would cost. So the bike was $2,500. I got a used front fairing that all the tabs were still there, but it had road rash on it. So I got that for $65, free shipping. I thought that was pretty good. Big ticket item was the brake pads. I went ahead and I got the BMW brake pads. When I got the bike, so I went ahead and I got the BMW brake pads. When I got the bike, the brake light was on, and it only took me like a second to look down and see that there was no wire coming out of the brake pads, so there was no sensor. So this was one of those guys that just put the cheaper pads on. And now I know why, because the pads all the way around, just the pads, no service. I'm doing all my own service on this bike. Just the pads for this bike, $472. I try not to think about it. I really do. And then I got grips, because the grips that were on this bike were worn down. 100-something thousand miles, yeah, they're going to get worn down. But I got on the bike for the first time and I just kind of drove it around the parking lot. And you know, for some reason, it's just my experience. Maybe it's just me being superstitious, but anytime you got like a broken gear, like a second gear, like a broken second gear, I just stay away from the bike. I mean, if the bike doesn't go from 1 to 2 to 3, and then back down to 2, and then back down to 1 in a reasonable fashion, I mean, all bikes are a little different. You have to get used to them. Stay away from that bike unless you know what you're doing. I've seen some just horrific things done to bikes. I don't know if they do those kind of things to sport bikes, but I've seen like gears welded in. I've seen second gears that have lost like almost all their teeth, so there's no second gear. You just go from first to third, and people are happy with that, I guess. But it shifts smooth. It may need a new clutch sooner or later. The clutch seems good, actually. Very surprising. Everything on the bike works. The heated seats works. The cruise control works. The little windscreen goes up and down. That works. Everything on this bike works. Oh, that guy had a military-themed bike. And he didn't wave back. I'm sure he feels bad now. Probably feels horrible. He's probably going to go home. He's probably going to go home and put that novelty helmet on his lap, and he's probably going to cry. Because he knows he could have waved. He could have waved to somebody on a motorcycle, and he didn't. And the world is now a poorer place because of it. Okay, so big ticket item, brakes, right? I can't remember what else I got with the brakes. Oh, the grips. I think the grips were like $12, $8. I was like, wait a minute, am I still in a BMW dealership? You just charged me $500, well, $470 something for brakes, and $8 for fucking grips. I guess they felt sorry for me. They gave me a free keychain too. Oh, that's right, keys, right? So I got this thing, and the key is all ratty. It's all tore up. No way it's ever gonna stay on a key ring again. So I had to buy a new key. BMW keys are like $76. I don't know, $76. But actually, they have this little chip in them. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Basically, they have to steal your whole bike. And if they steal your whole bike, they have to replace a bunch of electronics, which you can buy on eBay, by the way. I had to order this black piece. I wasn't happy about that. I had to get that brand new. I waited a long time on eBay, and it just never came up. That was $260, I believe. That was pricey. That was a pricey piece of plastic. And then when I got it came in the metallic, the dark metallic finish of the bike. So it looked fucking beautiful. It was this beautiful metallic finish, and I was like, wow, you know, I bet this bike really was good looking when it rolled off the showroom. But I had to scuff it all up, and then I painted it black. I think it looks awesome, actually. I think it looks better. What else did I get for this bike? I bought Crazy Glue. That mirror is pretty much 60% being held on by Crazy Glue. Maybe less. What else did I get? And the spray paint. The spray paint was $38. 6 cans of the tan, and a couple cans of the black to do the side panels, and the stencils on the side. And I am horrible with stencils, but I'm really happy with the way it looks, because when I was in the Army, I was horrible with stencils too. So it all balances out. It's got that authentic, you know, government work look to it, I guess. Making it worse, making it worse. God damn it. It's got a glove box. It's got a fucking glove box. What more could you want, man? You gotta buy like a fucking scooter to get a glove box these days. When I first got the idea to make this bike tan, military tan, flat, give it a couple stencils on it to give it a slightly military slant to it, one of the things that I wanted to do, and this is something my friends think I'm just being stupid at this point because I bring it up all the time. I want to put knobby tires on this thing. I'm looking at the front of this bike. I'm looking at the clearance with the front tire. There's going to be no problems with putting knobbies on this thing. A GS, I think. Maybe the same size tires. I have no idea, but yeah, you put some knobbies on this thing, and that's just going to complete the look, right?